So David finds himself walking through the valley of the shadow of death and not fearing evil because of the Lord's presence with him. It did not mention about the rod and the staff that comfort him, and the rod is especially a defensive tool of the shepherd. The staff is considered like maybe something the shepherd can lean on to rest or just kind of walk with, kind of a walking stick kind of thing. In any event, that brings comfort to the sheep. Those are things they see. These are tools of the shepherd, and it just are symbols of how he is their protector and their guide. Then he goes on and says that um, it's almost like you come out of the valley of the shadow of death and you wind up in the presence of your enemies. And I'm thinking like, well, hey, this just keeps getting worse. Good start, soul restoration, paths of righteousness, and then took a turn into the valley of the shadow of death, and now we're talking about being in the presence of our enemies. So it's at this point in the psalm that David changes David changes the metaphor from the shepherd to the host of a banquet, and in that culture, a host was especially concerned for the protection and the well-being and hospitality of those who were his guests, and so we are now guests of the Lord who prepares a table for us. That's good, but it's in the presence of our enemies. How about in the absence of our enemies, like thousands of miles away from our enemies, but it's in the presence of our enemies. And I think the thing here is that the Lord invites us to table fellowship and he provides for us. And it's like we can, the enemies are nearby. They're there. We're in their presence, as it were. And yet we're okay. This is where the Lord prepares a table. So it's where the enemy then is not, he's brought down, a whole level. It's not something that we need to be afraid of. And it is a time of trusting the Lord. But certainly the presence of our enemies is nothing that can prohibit God from abundantly supplying for us and for taking care of us. And that's like a protection of the host of this castle man or whatever it was, his home. And we can enjoy that and be at peace. And we can actually not be anxious about eating. Let's just eat because we're at the table that the Lord has prepared for us.